Focus on solutions, not problem. Keynotes, shift your mindset. See challenges as opportunity. 2. Train your brain to ask solution-oriented questions. Detach emotionally from the problem to think clearly. 4. Take responsibility without self-blame. Break the problem into pieces and solve step by step. Surround yourself with solution-oriented people. Use the power of visualization to unlock possibility. 8. Turn failures into feedback for innovation. Introduction, the but's eye, reduction, the side of it do can barchens dovely once. There is a battlefield in your mind. Every day you are either building a bridge to the future or digging a grave for your potential. And it all begins with your focus, what you choose to magnify. Most people waste precious energy analyzing the depth of their problems rather than looking for the ladder to rise above them. They become prisoners of their past instead of architects of their future. But what if I told you that your greatest breakthrough is waiting on the other side of a simple shift, focusing on solutions, not problems? The world is filled with complainers, victims, blamers, and excuse makers. Everyone can point out what's wrong, but few dare to stand up and ask, what can be done? The truth is, you will never step into your power until you stop rehearsing your problems and start declaring possibilities. Your destiny isn't determined by the weight of your obstacles, but by the direction of your focus. When you shift from why it's hard to how it can be done, doors open, strength rises, and heaven responds. Some of the most influential people in history, innovators, leaders, and world changers, weren't problem-free. They simply refused to worship their problems. They trained their minds to stay solution-driven even when chaos surrounded them. You can do the same. Whether it's a financial crisis, a broken relationship, an academic setback, or a health challenge, solutions exist. And when you decide to look for them with intention and faith, you will uncover wisdom that's been hiding in plain sight. This message is more than a motivational talk. It's a spiritual and mental realignment. It's a battle cry for you to rise above the victim mindset and live on purpose, because your life is too important to be stuck on what went wrong. There's a new way to live, a higher way. It's time to stop focusing on what's broken and start building what's possible. Stay with me, because this might just be the shift that sets your entire future in motion. Keynote 1. Shift your mindset. See challenges as opportunity. When life presents a challenge, the first thing we tend to ask is, why is this happening to me? But what if the more powerful question is, what is this trying to teach me? The difference between those who stay stuck and those who break through lies in the direction of that internal conversation. Focusing on problems drains energy. It reinforces helplessness. It magnifies what's missing. But when you shift your mindset to see every challenge as an opportunity, you awaken something powerful inside you: creativity, resilience, and purpose. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world. If the lens is dirty, clouded by fear, negativity, and past wounds, then even opportunity will look like a threat. But clean the lens, and even in darkness, you'll see possibility. This is not about denying problems exist. It's about refusing to let problems define your attitude, control your decisions, or hijack your peace. It's about making the internal decision that no matter what storm arises, there is something within you and above you that is greater. Many people believe the lie that mindset is something you either have or don't. That some people are just naturally positive, while others are naturally negative. But that's not the truth. Mindset is a choice. It's a muscle. It's something that gets shaped, stretched, tested, and trained. The more you train yourself to see beyond the problem, the stronger your mindset becomes. You start to ask different questions. You begin to imagine different outcomes. You stop reacting and start responding. And here's a secret: every time you choose to shift your mindset, you're aligning yourself with growth. Because growth never happens in the comfort zone. It happens when you're stretched, when you're pressed, and when you're placed in situations that demand more from you. The seed never becomes a tree until it breaks through the soil. You don't grow because of what's easy. You grow because of what you face and overcome. And that growth always begins with how you think. Consider the story of David and Goliath. While everyone else saw a giant too big to fight, David saw a target too big to miss. Same problem, different mindset. That's the key. Your perception will shape your response. David's mindset wasn't born in the battle, it was shaped in the quiet fields where he fought lions and bears when no one was watching. So when the public challenge came, he had private victories to draw from. The same is true for you. What you're learning in private will prepare you for the public breakthrough. This mindset shift also unlocks innovation. Some of the greatest inventions were born out of problems. The airplane came because someone saw a problem with distance. The light bulb came because someone saw a problem with darkness. Penicillin was discovered because of a problem with infection. These innovators didn't sit around complaining. They looked for solutions, experimented, failed, tried again, and broke through. Why? Because their mindset was fixed on possibility, not limitation. When your mindset changes, so does your energy. You stop attracting drama and start attracting clarity. People start noticing your peace in the storm. And more importantly, you begin to lead. Because leadership is not a title, it's a mindset. Leaders don't avoid problems, they attack them with vision. They don't whine, they work. They don't surrender, they adapt. And that's who you're called to be, a leader of your own life, not a slave to the chaos. It's important to be honest. Shifting your mindset doesn't mean you won't feel fear, it means you won't be ruled by it. It means you'll choose faith even when fear shouts louder. You'll choose gratitude even when lack surrounds you. You'll choose persistence when quitting seems easier. Every time you do, you're rewriting your story. And with every mindset shift, you're stepping closer to the solution you seek. There's a deeper spiritual truth in all of this too. When you choose to see problems as divine invitations rather than personal punishments, you begin to live with a higher purpose. You stop asking, why me, and start declaring, use me. That shift attracts favor, insight, and unexpected breakthroughs. Because when heaven sees a willing heart, it releases uncommon help. So let me ask you right now, what's that problem you've been staring at too long? What if you turned your eyes from the size of the problem to the size of your purpose? What if you said, I will not be defeated by this. I will be defined by how I respond to it. That's your moment of shift. That's your doorway to victory. Your breakthrough isn't waiting on the outside, it's waiting inside your mind. Keynote 2, train your brain to ask solution-oriented questions. Your brain is always listening to your words, your thoughts, and most importantly, your questions. Every question you ask yourself is like a search command. Ask, why is my life falling apart? And your brain will start offering evidence for failure. Ask, what can I do right now to turn this around? And your brain will start scanning for solutions. This is not magic, it's the neuroscience of focus. What you repeatedly ask determines what you repeatedly find. Most people are experts at asking problem-focused questions. Why me? Why does this always happen? What's wrong with them? But these only multiply stress and disempower your mind. To train your brain toward solutions, you must flip the script and ask questions that inspire action, clarity, and change. For example, what's one step I can take today to make progress? What's the lesson here? What resource or person could help me solve this? When you train yourself to ask empowering questions, you'll notice your energy change. You'll stop circling the issue and start moving forward. The brain responds to direction. It wants to help you, but it can only help with the instructions you give it. The right questions reprogram your mind to search for hope, not despair, for steps, not stickiness. In difficult conversations, the same principle applies. Instead of reacting with, why don't they understand me? Ask, how can I communicate more clearly? In leadership moments, shift from, why isn't the team performing, to what can I do to help unlock their potential? These questions don't avoid the problem, they steer you toward the root and the resolution. The more consistently you do this, the more automatic it becomes. You begin to develop a habit of hope, a rhythm of resourcefulness, a pattern of power, and over time, even your subconscious will be wired to find pathways instead of pain. So don't just react, retrain. Ask questions that move you forward. Keynote 3, detach emotionally from the problem to think clearly. When emotions are high, clarity is low. One of the most powerful things you can do when facing a challenge is to step back emotionally. Not because the problem doesn't matter, but because you matter too much to let your emotions lead you into impulsive choices or reactive thinking. Your emotions are not the enemy, but they must be managed. Imagine trying to drive through a thunderstorm with foggy windows. That's what decision-making is like when anger, fear, or anxiety clouds your vision. You can't solve clearly what you're emotionally entangled with. You need emotional space to see the solution. Detaching doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you choose to pause before you speak, breathe before you act, observe before you judge. And in that sacred pause, perspective is born. Clarity rises, wisdom speaks. And instead of reacting from your pain, you begin to respond from your purpose. Detachment gives birth to discernment. Many people sabotage relationships, businesses, or opportunities because they never learned the art of emotional self-control. They explode when they should have paused. They walk away when they should have leaned in. They misread the problem because they were too deep in it emotionally to see it correctly. The best leaders, counselors, and peacemakers know this secret. Emotions can be acknowledged, but not always obeyed. You can feel angry and still choose peace. You can feel afraid and still choose courage. That ability is a superpower. It's maturity. It's mastery. When you detach emotionally, you gain back your authority. You stop being a puppet of your feelings and start being the commander of your future. In that calm, centered space, solutions appear. You think more clearly. You speak more wisely. And you act with purpose. Master this, and you will master your moments. Keynote 4, take responsibility without self-blame. There is a critical difference between responsibility and self-blame. Responsibility empowers, self-blame paralyzes. When something goes wrong, our instinct is often to criticize ourselves or shift blame to others. But neither leads to solutions. The way forward is through radical ownership without emotional condemnation. Taking responsibility means saying, this is my life, and I choose to be part of the solution. It means identifying your part in the problem. Not to shame yourself, but to unlock your ability to grow. When you own your response, you regain your power. Because what you don't take responsibility for, you give away control over. Let's be clear, taking responsibility is not about absorbing all guilt. It's not about saying everything is your fault. It's about focusing on what you can control, your mindset, your choices, your reactions. You may not have caused the situation, but you are responsible for how you show up inside it. The problem with self-blame is that it turns inward and festers. It keeps you stuck in regret, shame, and helplessness. Responsibility, on the other hand, is future-focused. It asks, what can I do differently next time? It leads to learning. It moves you out of victimhood and into victory. The most successful people are not perfect, but they are honest. When they fail, they reflect. When they stumble, they recalibrate. They don't waste time justifying or blaming. They take action. And because of that, they grow stronger with every mistake. So don't fear responsibility. It is the foundation of growth. Own your role, not to punish yourself, but to position yourself for change. When you take responsibility, the doors of possibility open wide, and the path to solutions becomes clear. Keynote 5, break the problem into pieces and solve step by step. Big problems often feel overwhelming. The size alone can paralyze you. But here's the truth. Most problems are solved not by dramatic breakthroughs, but by breaking them down into bite-sized pieces and taking one step at a time. Think about a mountain. It looks massive from a distance, but climbers don't scale it in one leap. They take it step by step, inch by inch. In the same way, when you face a major challenge, the secret is to break it into parts. What's the core issue? What are the contributing factors? What's one thing I can address today? This approach shrinks the fear, it creates momentum. And with every small win, confidence builds. Most people delay action because they think they need the whole plan figured out before moving forward. But solutions rarely come all at once. They unfold as you walk. Action brings insight. Progress brings clarity. And faith brings unexpected help. Break the problem down by categories: emotional, practical, relational, financial, mental. Tackle one piece at a time. If a relationship is strained, start with a conversation. If finances are a mess, start by tracking your spending. If your health is suffering, begin with water and sleep. Each step counts. Each effort matters. Don't underestimate the power of small moves. A 1% improvement daily leads to massive transformation over time. What feels stuck today will feel simple tomorrow if you move consistently. You don't have to fix it all now, but you must start. Break it down and build it back up, one step, one solution at a time. Keynote 6, surround yourself with solution-oriented people. You become like the people you consistently listen to. Your environment shapes your energy, your beliefs, and your mindset. If you want to be solution-driven, you must surround yourself with people who don't just see problems. They see purpose and possibility. Negativity is contagious, but so is optimism. And if the majority of voices in your life are always focused on what's wrong, you'll find yourself weighed down, even if your situation is improving. You need people who challenge you, uplift you, and push you to rise. This doesn't mean you cut off anyone struggling. It means you balance your circle with voices that pull you forward. Spend time with people who ask empowering questions, who dream big, who don't accept defeat as the final chapter. Their mindset will sharpen yours. Find mentors, join growth-minded communities, read books, and listen to podcasts that expand your thinking. The more solution-oriented input you receive, the more your default response will shift from panic to purpose. Even one strong voice of wisdom can change everything. And sometimes it's not a crowd, it's a conversation. The right conversation at the right time can unlock answers you've been searching for years. So ask yourself, who are my 5 closest voices? Are they helping me see solutions or pulling me into problems? Make the adjustments. Your destiny may depend on it. Keynote 7. Use the power of visualization to unlock possibility. Before anything happens in the physical world, it is born in the realm of imagination. Visualization is not fantasy. It's a powerful mental rehearsal that prepares your mind to see what is possible before it becomes visible. If you can't see the solution in your mind, it's harder to walk toward it in reality. The problem-focused mind sees worst-case scenarios, but a solution-focused person uses visualization to see steps forward. Athletes do this before games. Pilots do it before flights. Entrepreneurs do it before launching businesses. They rehearse the solution internally so that action becomes automatic externally. Start by creating a clear mental image of what success looks like. What does the resolved problem feel like? How does life change when this is overcome? Let that image become the fuel that moves you. Your mind will begin to believe it's possible. And what the mind believes, it builds toward. Visualization also activates parts of the brain associated with creativity and action. You begin noticing resources you missed. You attract people aligned with that vision. You take smarter risks, and you become emotionally anchored to a higher version of yourself. Spend 5 minutes each day visualizing the solution. Don't just wish. See it, feel it, own it. This is not escapism. It's mental preparation, and it works. What you can see, you can seize. See the solution before it arrives, and your life will begin moving in that direction. Keynote 8. Turn failures into feedback for innovation. Failure is not the enemy. In fact, it's often the messenger of progress. Every solution you'll ever find is paved with the bricks of past mistakes. The difference between those who grow and those who give up is this: the ability to turn failure into feedback. Most people see failure as final, but every failed attempt is revealing something, an insight, a pattern, a truth you didn't know before. And when you treat failure as feedback, it stops being something to avoid and becomes something to study. Thomas Edison famously said he didn't fail 1,000 times, he found 1,000 ways that didn't work. That mindset led to one of the greatest inventions in history. What if your biggest failure isn't a defeat, but the doorway to your destiny? Innovation lives in the tension between effort and failure. When something doesn't work, don't shut down. Ask, what did I learn? What could I improve? What's the next step I can try? This mindset fuels growth in business, relationships, and personal development. It keeps your heart open and your mind active. It humbles you, teaches you, and refines you. Failure isn't the end. It's just the beginning of wisdom. And when you embrace feedback, you become unstoppable. Conclusion: powerful, reflective, and uplifting. Every great transformation begins with a decision, not an external change, but an internal shift. The decision to no longer dwell on the problem, but to rise with a solution. Because the truth is, the problems you face are not the end of your story. They are invitations to think deeper, rise higher, and move forward with more wisdom than you've ever had before. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a vessel of purpose. You are not powerless in your pain. You are equipped to turn that pain into a platform. And when you choose to shift your mindset, train your brain, detach from emotional fog, and take bold responsibility, something extraordinary begins to happen. You evolve. You start solving from the inside out. And as you do, your environment changes because you have changed. The challenges that once seemed immovable begin to shrink in the presence of your clarity. Solutions emerge because you're no longer staring at the darkness, you're looking for the light. You're breaking problems down step by step. You're surrounding yourself with winners, with visionaries, with builders. You're visualizing answers even before they appear, and you're seeing failure no longer as defeat, but as feedback, a divine signal pointing you toward innovation and breakthrough. This is more than motivation. This is your call to action. It's time to get up, time to shift your focus, time to stop rehearsing the drama and start rebuilding the future. Solutions are waiting. Power is within you. Clarity is ahead of you. And the world is watching, waiting for what you will build next. So the next time life presses you, challenges you, or throws an obstacle in your path, pause, breathe, and ask, what's the solution here? What can I learn? What step can I take? Because that one question asked consistently has the power to rewrite your destiny. Thank you, Note. Thank you for taking the time to walk through this journey with me, one of insight, awakening, and empowerment. If you've made it this far, then you're already different. You're already stronger. You're already becoming the kind of person who doesn't just survive problems. You rise above them with purpose and power. May this message stay with you, not just today, but every day when life demands more from you. When it would be easier to complain, may you create. When others choose defeat, may you choose direction. When everything screams, give up, may your heart whisper, look for the solution. The world needs more people like you, people who see what's broken and decide to build, people who face darkness but choose to shine. So thank you for listening, for reflecting, and most of all, for daring to live life with vision, not just reaction. Go now, focus on solutions, not problems, and watch how your life transforms. One answer, one step, one breakthrough at a time. Thank you. God bless you. Keep rising.